Hey everybody, it's Funny here once again. Hope you're doing well today. We're rambling about the Intellijel XFade 1U. It sounds like this. Okay, what lies beyond this mess of cables? It is a 1U crossfader module with the famous Inno slider for Eurorack. I think when it comes to 1U modules, you're hard-pressed to find better ones than this, and I almost wonder if, well, I guess there's adapters available, but it's like a 3U version for some of us who don't have the cases might be really appreciated sometimes. There's other options. Obviously, the Lapsus beside it is standing out right now, but it's not as nice as this fader, obviously, but there's trade-offs. Obviously, it's not apples to apples. It is its own thing. However, right off the rip, I'm just going to say I'm never going to cover everything you want to do or everything you could do with this thing. You're going to scream out at me and say, you didn't use the CV mixing options. You didn't use the modulation control options in this way. Modular, the world is your oyster, and everything can be done in its own way, and I'm going to just show you some thoughts on it, ramble about it. We're going to go through my usual uses for it. So in most, I want to say like probably the first 100 episodes, my mixer before the MFD that you're looking at right now, my mixer between my voice and the Eurorack mix was just this, what you're hearing right now, which is my voice in an XLR little Mikey module and the outboard mix of my Eurorack modules on the other channel. And I will say generally those voices are usually a lot louder than this voice is, and we find we're usually in this territory when it comes to crossfitting them, and that's okay. Now I'll just mention too off the rip, there is stereo ins. I don't know if you can mix CV on these. That would actually be kind of an interesting crazy modulation array if you had CV sources going into one and blending it with this way to become like a performance mixing thing. Anyway, this is just the sort of things that I'm like, people are going to be like, you didn't demonstrate that. But what I always use it for is mixing audio. Now you'll see I have a mono source. It will cascade in. You don't need to have dual stereo or dual mono sources. You can do a mix of both as I'm doing right now. So you have my voice on the channel A in mono, and then my drum mix coming in on channel B in stereo. And that sounds really good. There's different curves that you can set with this one. There is a DJ cutoff curve is the first position. Sorry, I keep moving it here. And this is essentially to be like for slamming it side to side, essentially. That the motions in the middle are pretty subtle. Everything in the middle doesn't change it too much, but you get the ability. You see, it's like basically like a rectangle there, right? To be fully muted on either side. There's lots of, room for, not a lot of mixing happening in the middle. It's all 50-50, essentially, or nothing, as I mix my voice out. Okay, so that is the DJ mode. This is the constant power mode, which is a blend with, it's like I guess it's not, forgive me, I don't know my trigonometry very well, but this is basically ramps in a way that you don't lose your voices in the middle, so it's constant gain. And I don't think it's actually perfectly constant gain given that my two sources are a little different, but if we crossfade here in the second mode, you don't get any dropout in the middle, right? We just go from my voice to the drums on the other side. So constantly going, constantly going, constantly going. And gone is what I said. And then this one is the linear one, so that will mean my voice completely in this one. However, this does give me a bit more to work with in my mix, where right now I'm finding it's like really, drums really loud right away. If we go into linear, you can bring them in a little bit slower. However, you do get dropping out in the middle. Maybe not. Maybe not. I thought we got drop out in the middle. No, we do not. Interesting. No drop. It says there's a dropout in the middle where they cross over, which you can kind of see in the X labeling here. And someone is going to tell me in the comments why that is, that I'm not dropping out in the middle. Different curves. Oh, you know why? Yeah, okay. So, because I'm mixing audio, that's not dropping out in the middle. But you'll see as the lights are indicated, the CV is indicated by the lights, not the audio. All right, so I'm crossfading here. You can see both middle mode, but in this bottom mode, no, still no. Yeah, there we go. In the bipolar mode, in this last linear mode, you do get a dropout in CV. So, the other thing, if you're not using this as a mixer, you are using it for CV control, which I'm going to demonstrate with a filter cutoff. And we're going to do CVA. So there's two channels. I believe this goes to 5 volts on either side, but correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to patch CVA into the master of Overseer. Use CVB for this. Sorry. Trying to wrap my mind around Eurorack sometimes in these videos. Okay, you hear my voice completely. As we bring in, maybe we'll just unpatch the drums so I can demonstrate the CV separate from this, right? So as we go over here in our linear mode, there'll be a dropout in the middle of the CV in bipolar mode. But you can sweep it positive, where my voice is filtered out completely, and then over into A. So, yeah, reading my voice for this, probably a questionable call. However, that's okay. CV sources. Curve is different for them. Modulation point. I'm going to route the drums in here. And I'm probably not going to be able to talk, but I'm going to quickly go through all of these with the modulation. And that'll give you an idea of the curves and the different modes. So we're taking CVB out. You'll see nothing happening right now, so the Overseer's cutoff isn't being changed at all, but when we bring it up, crossfade is bringing the drums in. Bringing my Overseer up. Yeah. Move this over to A, you get the opposite, right? And this is the DJ mode. Let's bring it over into the constant power mode. Yeah. So we're in unipolar mode right now. I'll first go over into the linear mode, and then we'll take it out of unipolar into bipolar mode. And this fader feels awesome. I'll say that. There's a reason why lots of people say they want their Octatracks to have this one, because it feels really nice. Yeah, so see how this one outputs constant voltage in the middle. In bipolar mode, it will not. Sorry, gotta think about my patching, right? Because I'm crossfading my audio and crossfading my bipolar CV. And if there's a patch for using this to scratch, I would love to hear it. Maybe that's like gene size in your morphogene you could control with this CV. In the patch in the intro, I was using it to activate the stutter effect on more performer, which I think is fun. Let's turn the overseer off. I think a lot of people are gonna come to this one for CV more than mixing, right? Because it makes a great performance tool. If I just I would lose my voice there. Well, I'll take this out here and we'll patch in what I was planning to do, which is take my drum voice out completely and show you how I want to use the XFade for live performances with my music. Okay, so now I just want to show you to finish this one off. Obviously, there's so much you can do with the XFade, but here's what I'm thinking for my live set. I got an Octatrack. I was hoping to make some of this happen, and I think I'm just like too modular brained at this point to like even set that up on the Octatrack. So I did set it up on here, and I want to just demonstrate it quick here. What I have going on the Bitbox is 2 outputs, 2 tracks. We have an instrumental track and the full track on the right. Then the MFD can crossfade between these so I can decide how much of the backing track I need, and then the XFade can crossfade between my voice, my vocals that are running through the Ghost, and the backing track in its entirety, and then I can, you know, crossfade there. So I think it's confusing, but the only way to demonstrate this is just run through it quick, and I'm gonna bring in some effects on my voice because I want to really like crunch it up. Maybe not that much more distortion. Yeah, this, it's crazy. Delay, reverb. And then I can trigger all of this from here with this FSU. And I can crossfade between my voice and the back. And then here, I'm gonna get copyright strike on my own song. And I can take out the backing track, where I would say my vocals here. To leave traces. Oh, so shocking for the different places. But then I got filters by this too. For some fun stuff. Oh, so shocking for living places. Thumb from spiders to where to go? Shit about a place. Yeah, we're trying to talk about the XFade 1U. This thing is awesome. If you have a 1U row, there's definitely some place for that, I think. Whether it's for mixing or CV modulation or what it may do, I just feel like there's few touch controllers that are as good as this one, or certainly none that feel as good. So yeah, please, I want to play live. So if you want to have me play live, hopefully in Vancouver. So hey, I'm Tafony, take care. I'll talk to you soon.